Hello folks, this is Sean Yadnicek and I'm with the Clemson Extension Service, and today I'm here at the Urban Permaculture Institute of the Southeast in lovely Walterboro, South Carolina, and I'm just going to take you on a tour and show you some of the things that I'm working on. Okay, so the water comes off the roof of my house here and into the first pond in the aquaponics system. The pond liner goes all the way up to the house so that all the water coming off the house will go directly into this first settling pond. The logs all around the settling pond have been inoculated with shiitake mushrooms, which are now in production. Here's a close-up of the shiitakes starting to flush right there. Got some more down here coming out along the bottom of the log there. Some on the back side as well. The water comes from the grow out pond and it goes through this gravel bed right here, which helps filter the water. Bacteria live on the outside of the gravel and they help break down some of the pollutants in the water, the ammonia, into nitrates, which are less harmful for the fish. I think I got that right. Okay, then the water comes into this settling pond right here, and the solids in the water settle out of the settling pond. You can see this right here, this pipe right here, covered with bamboo to disguise it, takes the water from my shower and directs it into the settling pond to help keep the water level in the whole system high. I've realized that I lose about 1,000 gallons a week to evaporation in the summertime. So the water from the settling pond then spills over into this vegetated waterway where I'm growing a plant called water hyacinth. This is actually legal in South Carolina. I'm in the process of getting rid of it. So it travels along the vegetated waterway. Then it goes into the grow out pond over here. Here's another angle of the vegetated waterway. I have tea camellias planted on the left side over there. The plants inside the vegetated waterway act as filters, taking out pollutants from inside the water, allowing me to grow more fish in a smaller amount of space. And here's a bed that I'm making right here next to the waterway, the vegetated waterway, and I'll show you what I'm doing in that bed. Okay, so here's a bed I've just put together. It's lined with plastic on the bottom, scraps that I had left over from a renovation project. This is what it looked like during construction. And then it's filled with leaves and dried water hyacinth. And then I have pots right here, these pots right here, filled with the mixture of peat, and I went very heavy on the perlite, and they sit directly into 1 inch of water on the bottom of the channel, and they absorb water and nutrients from the channel. I also have earthworms that are growing inside of the vegetated material, and it's also going to be inoculated with oyster mushrooms as well. Okay, this right here is the next phase in the system. I've got 2-tiered pots right here, and I'm trying to move away from the perlite based mixture, and I'm trying to go with a straight compost mixture. I have some kale transplanted into there. And then behind them here, I'm going to be inoculating these logs right here with oyster mushrooms. And they're sitting up on bricks, and once they're fully inoculated, they will slide down into this bed right here, which will have the dried water hyacinth, and it has water on the bottom, and all of that will be inoculated with shiitake, or not shiitakes, but oyster mushrooms as well. And these logs will sit in that water and will be automatically soaked every time it rains, because this channel right here holds water. That's a screen right there I've set up where I basically move the water hyacinth from the vegetated waterway over here onto the screen to allow it to dry and die before it's then placed in the channel and inoculated with oyster mushrooms. Cattails in there that are going out. Little waterfall spilling down into the grow out pond. And the vegetated waterway back there, eventually I'll be putting mussels in there. There's crayfish, and in here there's tilapia and bass. And growing around the edge of the pond, I'll show you some of the plants that I have. Okay, these are some of the plants around the edge of the pond. It's a polyculture of spiderwort, edible leaves and flowers. Here's some groundnut growing over a citrus tree. Groundnut has edible tubers and seed pods. The citrus bursting out of the groundnut. There's also hot tuna, Waytunia cordata, growing in the channel. That's edible leaves. There's a mayhaw right there next to the pond, growing up into an Elaeagnus pungens right there. You see the groundnut climbing over the Elaeagnus. And coming over here, just planted a banana, hardy banana right there, and there's some yacone with more Tradescania and hot tuna underneath it, with some elderberries as well next to the pond. And you can see the fencing system right here that I just installed to keep the chickens in the back area. It goes right up to the pond, and the pond also acts as a fence and barrier to keep the chickens from coming over to the patio. And you can see the other side of the fence on the other side of the pond. Here's the citrus. Okay, so another way I collect water is collect the water off the driveway. And the water off the driveway goes into this channel right here, which has been lined with pond liner. And the channel takes it down into the pond where the cat is down there. Here's what it looked like during construction. And all the leaves also come off the driveway and go into this channel, and earthworms grow on those leaves. And I'm getting ready to inoculate this with Garden Giant. It's a type of mushroom, as well as bluets. And then I have these pots filled with the heavy perlite compost mixture, growing the vegetables, some kale seedlings planted underneath them. This is the basils getting ready to go out here. But these are all sitting in about an inch of water, and that keeps them nice and moist, so I never have to water them. And then the earthworms can be pulled out of the channel and used to feed the chickens and the fish. Some more groundnut growing over citrus trees. I have this low panic grass right here, provides some nice seeds for the chickens. Some Myers lemon, last tall citrus there. Benches made from recycled logs.